DeMeco Ryans is the new man in town in Houston, and in his first season, he's going to have to address a lot. This team had a really poor season last year, figured out that Davis Mills isn't going to be the long-term answer at quarterback, and they've got a lot of other problems to solve. So I attempted to solve them all in a 7-round mock draft. Felt like I did a pretty good job. Starting off with the number 2 overall pick, I took Bryce Young. I figured a perfect fit for that Bobby Slowick 49ers system, somebody who can attack the middle of the field, even though he's not the tallest quarterback, can make plays in and out of structure. He's great in structure, which is what he's going to have to do a lot in that kind of system, play action, a lot of boots, a lot of stuff over the middle. He's great at all of it. Moving on, number 12, let's go get him a receiver who can eat on the inside. It's Jackson Smith and Jigba, my favorite receiver in this class. You might think 12 is a little high, but really this is somebody that's being underrated, in my opinion, by a lot of media. And just I feel like everyone is a little low on JSN. He's the best route runner in this class. He can make catches outside of his frame. He's pretty much automatic over the middle of the field, and he makes dudes miss in space. I don't know what else you could possibly ask for out of a guy that is going to play in a 49er system. You have to be able to get rack, and he does that great. Moving on, number 33 is where we start to address the defense. This team went out and they addressed defense a lot, but you want some guys for the future, not just guys for right now. That's why I took Adetomiwa Adebawore, an absolute freak, somebody who can play inside and out on that defensive line. You know, DeMeco Ryans, he had guys like Eric Armstead when he was in Houston, when he was in San Francisco. Now that he's in Houston, he's going to have to go get somebody who can make plays on the inside. And I think that's what Adebawore is. He has that inside-outside versatility. And the Ravens, even during the combine, asked him to get linebacker reps in because they want to see what he can do there. He is huge, fast, freak athlete, and that's just the kind of thing DeMeco Ryans is going to love in that defense. Moving on, I got another guy who's pretty similar to somebody in San Francisco. This is a budget Fred Warner type of player. It's Deion Henley from Washington State, somebody who can run the pipe and track with those receivers and tight ends that come over the middle of the field. Mobility and fluidity are the names of his game. He is calling cards. He's a great player. He's somebody who I think is probably, in that top 5 of linebackers in this class, really raw, but somebody if who he hits that ceiling can be a dangerous player. And he's going to have time to hit the ceiling in Houston because you guys aren't exactly in win now mode. Moving on, another guy who I really, really like, it's Tucker Kraft at 73, the tight end out of South Dakota State. You got Dalton Schultz, but he's only on a 1-year contract. It's kind of a mercenary deal. I'm assuming he's going to perform well and probably end up elsewhere. So you got to go out and get somebody who's going to be able to play over time. And that's exactly what Tucker Kraft is. Played at a lower level of competition, obviously, South Dakota State, not the SEC or anything, but he dominated. He looks like Gronk compared to those guys out there. He can block. He can make big catches. If you check out the Weed Ball tight end rankings that are coming out soon, you'll definitely see that I'm really high on him. He's my 5th ranked tight end in the class. He's an absolute monster. I think his blocking is something that could really be used in a 49ers system. A couple more offensive picks here. I went with Jalen Duncan with the next pick 104 out of Maryland. I think that's a really, really good football player. Somebody who can just make plays. Somebody who can protect while other guys make plays. I think he can be a good swing tackle, somebody that's good depth. I think that we saw him at the Senior Bowl. Me and Luke, we were down there in the Senior Bowl in person, and we got to see that guy operate. And man, he had some good reps. I think that that's a solid pick, somebody who can be depth and eventually evolve into a starter. Up next, 161, you got Dameon Pierce. Let's go out and get you a pass-catching running back, somebody who can do a little bit of it all. We actually have an interview with him up on this page. It's Eric Gray, really fun football player, can operate out of the Wildcat. My co-host Luke loves him a lot. He's a really fun football player, somebody who can do power, can be elusive, has played in the SEC, the Big 12. He's done just about anything. He's a very versatile player, and you know that a 49ers offense loves versatility, and that's what you're going to have in Houston. Moving on, I got D. Winters with the next pick. I don't know if he really should be here, but it's another really athletic running back, or really athletic linebacker, somebody who can run the pipe, somebody who can go out and make plays. D. Winters is exactly that. He has all of the athletic traits in the world, can run with receivers, really. He has elite speed, somebody I really like. And these last couple picks are really developmental guys. I took Nick Salvaderi, the tackle out of Old Dominion. A lot of people like him for his own scheme. He's obviously going to take a lot of development. This is a 7th round tackle, but hey, if it pans out, you've got a starter. And that's the same thing with these next couple picks. Rajon Wright is a corner that I really liked watching on film. I feel like he kept up with a lot of the best receivers in this class out of Oregon State. Really fun football player and somebody who's really competitive and can stick with top guys in this class. And last but certainly not least, Jake Bobo. I figure out you go out and you get yourself a receiver who can block. You saw the Dolphins running a 49ers-esque system last season. They had Trent Sherfield, who was a killer blocker as a receiver. Jake Bobo can be at least that, maybe something more if he develops, maybe puts some pounds on, becomes a tight end. He has a lot of versatility, and I think that that's the name of the game for him. And I think that that's the name of the game with this mock draft as a whole. Go out and get guys who can, be versatile and make plays. It's D'Amico Ryans' first year. Go out and get some high ceilings. You have time to develop this thing. You don't have to be great right away. You should take your time, stockpile all these picks that you have, and just get guys who you think can be great. I think that I did a decent job of that. Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to subscribe for more Wee Ball mock drafts.